Hi there, I hope this finds you well. Grace and peace to you. For my reflection today, I just thought I'd share a bit around some of the things that God's been challenging me with over recent weeks and months in particular. But before I do, I wonder if you can think of people who've been influential in your life, and particularly people who've maybe been influential in you coming to faith in Christ. Or if you've not come to faith yet, I wonder if there's people that have made you think. You've thought there's something different there about them. There's maybe more to this than I realised. For me, I can think of quite a few people who have been influential at different times, but particularly people at the time that I came to faith just showed a lot of patience with me, a lot of grace towards me, the way that I was, a lot of kindness, a lot of respect, despite my failings, and ultimately just gentleness that helped me bit by bit come to understand that God was there, that He was real, that He loved me and He wanted good things for me. A few people like my parents who, when I had messed up so much in life, was just so kind and patient and gracious towards me. My granddad, who just showed gentleness in the way that he put messages across to people and to me when I was far from faith. To a former youth worker, big character who made no pretence of being perfect, but who showed through his actions who Jesus was. And a minister who I remember coming to sit in a wee local smoky pub with me and help me over a pint work out what it all meant for me personally. Since moving to Dumfries, I felt quite challenged about how do I help be part of God's work and helping to reach out to people around in the community. How does God want to use me to help people know that He's there, that He loves them and that He wants the best for them, whoever they are and whatever their backgrounds and whatever's going on in their lives? So I just wanted to share a few verses that I hope are helpful. Verses not so much about bright ideas for convincing people of who God is, but about how we should be in our approach and in our character. Starting with Peter, who was writing to a variety of Christians scattered across different regions. He said to them, "Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give the reason for the hope that you have." So to be thoughtful, to be prepared. But he goes on to say, but do this with gentleness and respect. Similarly, Paul, writing to the church in Colossae, he encourages them to be wise in the way that they act towards outsiders, the way they act towards people who don't know Christ. Make the most of opportunities. And similarly, be always full of grace. Your conversation be always full of grace and seasoned with salt. Jesus, I think, gives us the ultimate example of this humility and this graciousness of approach. Paul, describing Jesus in Philippians, talks about how he didn't consider equality with God, that power, that majesty, to be something to hold on to, but he took the nature of a servant in human form to come into the world that we might know God's love, we might know who He is, and to die a brutal death so that we might benefit, we might be forgiven, and have this new offer of a new start and a new hope in life and beyond life. So I'm going to finish with some words from Jesus himself. John chapter 3 verse 17, where Jesus said that God didn't send Him into the world to condemn the world, but rather to save the world through Him. I think that speaks volumes of the approach that Jesus took and the approach that He also encourages us to reflect as well. In John's Gospel, he doesn't give a commission or record a commission from Jesus in a similar way to the other Gospels, but instead he says to his disciples that just as God has sent Him into the world, He is sending them into the world, so to model, to reflect the way that He's done it. A huge challenge to us all, I think. I know it's something that I feel very challenged by and not sure how well I live up to, and something that I'm sure I'll work out for years, for the rest of my life. Hope that's been in some way a blessing to you, and thanks for listening.